All right, so this video is directed to Pierre Poilievre. A number of months ago, Pierre, I had the opportunity to ask you a very important question, to which you responded by failing miserably. I asked you, and I stated, you've denounced the World Economic Forum vehemently, and you said yes. Then I asked you if you understood and recognized and acknowledged the consequences to Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. You answered that question by saying you have no idea what it is, which is very strange, because you have voted on it no less than 5 or 6 times in Parliament in favor of it. You've sat on SDG committees approving budgets for the sustainable development implementation in our nation. Now, your party is responsible for committing us to this agenda on 2 occasions. In 1992 under Brian Mulroney, and in September 27th of 2015 under Stephen Harper. In 2008, your party created the first law making sustainable development goals binding in this country, where we have to report our progress in achieving the goals of sustainable development to an unelected, unaccountable foreign entity. Now, you owe it to your constituents, to your base, your conservative base, to tell them the truth. And in terms of how your party is going to address Agenda 2030, will you denounce Agenda 2030, an agenda created by an unelected, unaccountable foreign entity? Or are you in favor of Agenda 2030, which we know you are? So this is an extremely important question for you to answer. And I think you owe it to the people, your supporters, to come clean and tell the people what your position is, where you stand on Agenda 2030 and the SDGs. It's incredibly important that you do this. Now, I don't know if you're going to see this video. I don't know if you're going to address it. You may just continue to hide behind your WEF denouncement. But it's incredibly important that the people understand who they're supporting and why. And if you, again, do you denounce Agenda 2030, or are you in favor of Agenda 2030? It's incredibly important that you answer this question in full and give your supporters, give your people something to chew on, something to consider when they're considering supporting your party and its support for an agenda created by an unelected, unaccountable foreign entity. I think it's incredibly important that you answer this question. You've avoided answering this question for the longest time. You won't utter the words Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals that has serious consequences to the people of this country. Your party has essentially ceded our sovereignty to that unelected, unaccountable foreign entity. And it's incredibly important that you answer this question in full. Now is the time. You can't continue to hide behind this WEF denouncement. You're either in favor of this agenda or you're not. Which is it?